Alrighty, welcome back to our last game of the night. Arizona, number 22, takes on 24th ranked Purdue to close the night. Now, our only top 25 matchup, both teams being ranked. This evening, outside of the number one Drexel, number two Akron, or number one Akron, number two Drexel. After tonight, Drexel should be number one come Monday. But Jones, what night it's been? I mean, 3-0 clean sweep of Akron for the Dragons to Drexel. And then Northeastern comes in and absolutely shocks Maryland. And the Maryland responds well through adversity, picks up a 3-1 win over Utah. Now we're set for our last game of the night. Both teams a lot to prove tonight. Purdue comes off two forfeits in the Nightlights Invitational to George Mason and Wichita State. That's wrong. UT Arlington and George Mason. And then Arizona State trying to add another quality win to the tournament resume. What's one more win here for the Sun Devils? They have a new third alongside Patrick and Ev, now with Crouton over Lux. We won't get into the reasons why, but the roster changes have happened here at Arizona State and Tempe, Arizona. So we'll see how things affect and shake out. Jonas, expectations for tonight?
I mean, this is going to be a really interesting match. I think that's kind of the biggest thing at this point. I really don't know how it's going to go. I mean, I want to see what Purdue brings to the table. I'm also curious to see what Arizona State do. I mean, they had some good matches sweeping San Diego State's pretty nice in that invitational, dropping 1-3 to Louisiana Tech. Obviously, the Bulldogs are a solid team. I still would have picked Arizona State to win that matchup, so I'm a little bit shocked there, but now this is going to be another big test going toe-to-toe with Purdue. The loser of this one might just drop out of the top 25 ranking.
I really mind. I mean, again, both teams are very close to the bottom. And, before tomorrow, we have Texas Bowling Green State tomorrow at 7 Eastern, maybe. I don't know the exact time. I think it's 8 o'clock because Wichita State, Florida is at 9. And then after that is one other series. I don't remember who it is. And that Ball State Michigan State series is Thursday. So a couple of exciting series still to come later this week. Let's get on the field. Game one, the players are ready. So let's go and get these players underway for game number one.
Yeah, why not? Why not? We'll get everyone going. Final matchup of the night, Arizona State Sun Devils versus the Purdue Boilermakers. This is going to be a big win for either of these teams.
We're underway. Arizona State all the way down south in Tempe, Arizona, trying to pick up another win here. The Sun Devils, I believe, are 2-1 after the Sideline Sports Invitational wins over Tennessee and San Diego State. 447, though, Purdue finds the first.
They do indeed. Crouton tried to get it over to Patrick, but Duck splits the needle there and will send it straight back the other way. Purdue, that's a nice start for them. 13 seconds in, Arizona State already caught out. Crouton off the kickoff, no contact made. Duck again heading back the other way. Patrick spins it around to the midfield line, deflected by Plain. I'm expecting the Boilermakers to kind of keep this momentum up.
The reset on target. Purdue's defense almost let that one sail through, Jonas. And this is the only real non-conference game Arizona State got the schedule because they played that 3-game MTE last weekend where they went 2-1, but they lost to Louisiana Tech, who went on to win the entire thing, but picked up a win over San Diego State alongside of that. But there's a 1-1 score. Patrick finds the first.
A nice setup from Evan. Duck just got outsped there, and then Patrick with the follow-up. No one going to be able to stop that one in time. 1-1 in the first 46 seconds already. Looking to be a close matchup. It'll be interesting to see which of these teams kind of locks in a little bit more as time goes on.
Enchanted back a dunk there for Enchanted in the first minute off the clock. And, we'll see as the series goes on, but what happens. But again, if you're Duck, I mean, it was funny, though, the other night because they were playing in a Nightlights Invitational just for fun with a stub, and Duck got left alone on defense and was absolutely burned. And I said out loud, Duck just got sold on a silver platter to the other team. That was kind of funny to roast it, but minute 15 gone. Purdue and Arizona State all even at 1.
Now Enchanted might break that tie, and that he will. I don't know exactly what happened here. Just a nice touch as Eb couldn't quite reach it, and Crouton tried to sneak it past that post, but couldn't quite get in front.
Arizona, a team that went deep in the tournament last fall. They got to the Sweet 16 before they exited. to Colorado, who was the 1 seed in the West Regional, for a Elite 8 appearance for the Buffaloes, who took down Purdue, who went on to fall in 6 games to Akron. But Purdue also saw themselves a decent run in last fall's tournament, so these two teams know what it takes to make deep runs.
Yeah, they do indeed. I mean, Arizona State, they had some interesting matches, of course. Technically went 2-1 in the tournament, took down Southern Utah round 1, beat Cal in game 7 in round 2. That was an insanely fun matchup to watch. Over on the other side, Purdue, they had a tough run as well. They had some tougher opponents, taking on North Florida, where they got the win, James Madison, where they got the win, but then they ran into Indiana, who did not treat them too kindly in the conference tournament or in the championship tournament.
So both these teams saw Sweet 16 exits in the fall. We'll see how things shake for the Sun Devils and Boilermakers in the spring. But these two teams we both project to be in the field in April. We'll see how high or low these two teams are on the seed list come April. But again, you need these big starts, and this is a big win for the winner.
It absolutely is indeed, and that's going to be a big opening for Enchanted to send in another. He's got a second here, as that is just a massive double commit from Arizona State. That cannot happen, and leaves a free and open net for Purdue.
2:12 to go, and for us looking at chat right now, we might need to have Purdue play Denver, see who's got the worst chat of all time.
the worst chat? I thought Denver's chat was amazing.
It was amazing, but the way that the chat was talking, and I would just most annoying fans, I guess. We'll say 2 minutes to go though. Purdue's got some silly little goofballs in the chat.
And one of them does look to be Baron of Drexel, who does say that Purdue is going to sweep. And at this point, it's maybe looking to be the case, as they're up 4-1 in the first 3 minutes. This defense from Arizona State has just kind of been slipping, and Enchanted now has a hat trick.
Minute 50. Play here, high pop for Plain. Patrick will clear this one wide, and things just kind of turn south pretty fast for the Sun Devils. Playing over from the opposite side, puts it off the backboard, has no help. The double doesn't fall. Patrick will cover the clear. Now Arizona State trying to transition. The pressure still deep in red territory for Purdue.
Good 50 from Enchanted, falling down Plain already. Looking for another challenge on the far side. Will get beat there. It's to Doug. Patrick eliminates Plain, trying to get it over to Ed. Now he does. Patrick there for a 50. Enchanted will keep it out. Now finds the clear back the other way. Purdue just seemed to be playing good defense and playing the clock at this point.
1 minute to go on the clock here in game number 1. And Purdue, it's been all the Boilermakers. Arizona State really nothing too threatening in response, and down the stretch here, Arizona State at this point trying to score once more. Got the wheel for the road. 52 to go. It's within 2.
And just a good take here from Eb. Doug couldn't get there. Enchanted, no boost to work with on the far side. Will cut the lead in half. 52 seconds. You got to feel that the Boilermakers are still just going to close this one out.
Still a lot of clock to go though. 50 seconds is more than enough time for one. So they can strike soon and leave a couple of seconds for goal number 4, then maybe they could be in business. But Purdue trying to deliver the dagger for game number 1. The rebound is there. Plain extends the lead to 3 again.
Yeah, just a little bit too late here. Enchanted, one touch out, and you can see Patrick just a little bit of hesitation going for that ball, and before he knew it, Plain was over top, sending in goal number 5.
36 seconds. Lead back out towards 3 for the Boilermaker offense. That's been highly efficient tonight, and their first official real game of the season after 2 forfeits in the Night Lights Invitational. There's a third for Arizona State. Now 26 seconds to play. Maybe time for one more.
Possibly. That one was kind of gifted to Crouton there, as Enchanted and Duck ended up both going from opposite sides, pinched it down into their backboard, dropped off the ceiling right into the hands of Crouton, and I don't expect we're going to get another one of those. I think we're just going to see Purdue hold on tight for the final 20 seconds. But Arizona State still picking up goals when they're given to them. But I think they got to create some more opportunities, as Plain will find number 6, his second of the night.
13 seconds left, and that should really kill any hope of a comeback at this point in the game. At 13 seconds, a lead back down to 3.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, a 6-goal game for Purdue in game number 1, I feel like speaks a lot of volumes. Obviously, it's game 1. It's a feeler game. Both these teams going to be looking to warm up a little bit more. Arizona State going to try and work a little bit better on defense, but right now, Purdue were able to put up 6 goals in one game, and I really think that's the only stat you need to look at.
Yeah, I think if Arizona State's defense could have held on down the stretch, they could have had Purdue in a one goal different situation with like 30 seconds left, and they scored with 29 to play. They were back down at like 3. They had a third secured, and it could have been 4-3, and they just let those 2 sloppy goals go in unanswered. So, but again, you had your chances down the stretch to pull it together, and they couldn't do so.
Yeah, now we're going to have to see what they do to try and adapt in game number 2. Obviously, we're going to look to see if that defense can turn things around, start seeing if their offense is going to take the initiative a little bit more. I'm assuming Purdue going to try and keep doing what they've been doing, maybe clean up a little bit more on defense themselves. But ultimately, when you put away 6 goals, you double your opponent's score, you're going to be feeling pretty confident in that phase.
Yeah, you are. I mean, again, when you double somebody off, I mean, it's a good feeling. I mean, you know in your back pocket that however many goals you have, the other team has to score twice as many. So it's a good feeling. It's 1-0 though as we head on to game 2, Jonas. But game 1, the defense seemed to be the problem for the Sun Devils. We'll see if they can get figured out here.
Yeah, we really will. I mean, I think the defense is just going to be kind of the biggest question mark for either side at this point. But we'll see who figures it out. Purdue, they're looking to go up 2-0 early and get that win on the tally. And of course, Arizona State, they're just looking to get their first game of the night, as need to start showing a little bit more resistance to the Boilermakers.
First 15 seconds. I mean, again, Arizona. Oh my Cucks fan shout! It's almost beautiful for Patrick. Though it is just wide. And again, Arizona State got to make a statement early. Got to score first and establish your offense in this series. Make Purdue kind of have to adjust towards your play, and make Purdue play the Arizona State Rocket League way. Not don't let Purdue play their own way.
Yeah, I think taking the initiative is going to be a big thing here for the Sun Devils, but it's not an easy thing to do in Rocket League in general, and especially not against a team like Purdue. Plain snapped the pass down to Duck, couldn't quite set it on target. Patrick getting 50 by Enchanted right back into the backboard. It goes. Crouton, a big clear back the other way, but ultimately possession falls back in hands of Purdue.
One minute gone off the clock here, Arizona State. And Purdue is still neck and neck at 0. No early goals this time around in game 2, Purdue. Though again, coming in, I'd say are heavy favorites. I don't know if that's the right necessarily term to use, but it feels like they're significant favorites despite the 24th ranking after 2 forfeits. This is still a darn good, in my eyes, a top 15 team.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, after 2 forfeits, you're going to get moved down just a little bit. And, it is tough. You can't quite be there, and that's how your ranking gets affected. But that is sometimes just the way things play out. And obviously, they're still proving to be a very threatening team in this one. Obviously, they had some tough looks last season. We're a dominant team, but it had some tough series against some tough opponents. They're really looking to reinstate confidence in themselves here in Season 5.
2:50 to go. That shot just wide. Ebb will cover. Demos galore. It's all 3 killed, but Purdue's going the wrong way, Jonas.
Plain will try his best to turn it around, but runs out of boost, runs out of possession. A fall to Enchanted. Not the best first touch, as he will go out towards the corners, tries to double the middle. Duck is there, but no boost in hand. Ebb trying to escape and falls right back to Enchanted. 15 Patrick now. It's Plain's turn. He goes up high. Looking middle. Duck is there. He's not going to be able to catch up to this one. Instead, he'll just go back into the corner.
2.5 to go. Enchanted taken away here by Crouton, and 2:15 to go, and at this point in the series for Arizona State, what do you do down the stretch here that hasn't quite worked out well to make the necessary adjustments to find our way on top of game 2?
I mean, I think one of the big things is working together a little bit more on offense and defense. I think you got to do the same. We're seeing Arizona State. It looks like they're moving quite a bit individualistically. We're not seeing a lot of team plays. We're kind of seeing each player kind of working by themselves and then kind of just trying to change and adapt. I think we need to see them work together a little bit more, as Crouton will have the clear. Is this in? No, just off target. The save is made. Now Ebb fires far side. Enchanted is there. Has Duck to the right. He looks to do it himself. Slings the flick into the backboard. Plane misses. It's a 1v1 down the stretch. Does Ebb have the bump? Yes, he does, but Duck still manages to make the save.
And a big moment for the Purdue defense to step up, make a clutch save. One more attempt here. Duck, a whip, but also Eva missed. Back to Enchanted, and Purdue will cover the clear. Angel numbers on the clock, still tied at 1-0.
And now Ev sealing. Patrick is there. Can he beat Plane? No. Crouton launching another one towards the net. Enchanted one touch. Crouton going middle. Ev is there. Puts it high into the back. Well, Duck is bumped. Patrick there. And ASU break through.
53 seconds. You just felt like Arizona State was eventually due for a goal after how much pressure they had created on the Purdue side, but still a lot of clock to go for the Boilermakers. 53 seconds is more than enough time for one more goal.
It is indeed. I mean, we'll have to see them again try and retake that control. Crouton, that's a nice 50. You know that the Sun Devils are just going to be looking to suppress this offense the best they can. Early challenges, cutting off passing plays, cutting off dribbles. As Plane sends it downfield. Duck a little bit late. Crouton again firing into the back. Well, Patrick has a look. Squishy save from Enchanted is good. Clears it out for a moment. Ebb off the side while Plane. Low boost. Duck hunting Crouton. The save is made again. Big 50 from Enchanted. Patrick misses the clear. Ebb back. Looks 15 seconds left for Purdue.
13 to go. Purdue needs to strike. Now that hole is opened. No one there, though. Dunk back to the wall, has 0. Has help behind him for playing the double. It's no good. It's immediately blocked wide. One more attempt maybe incoming here.
This one kept alive. Plane, not the best touch. Enchanted's got none. 50's made far side. You just got to feel like that will be it. And that it is. Arizona State pick up one to tie up this series.
Arizona State just had no boost. I mean, Purdue had no boost that entire last possession to even compete for a chance to score. The Arizona State had them starved.
I mean, ultimately, just saw some great defense from the Sun Devils in this one. Said whoever figures out that defense might do it. Purdue had 8 shots. ASU had 8 saves.
Highly efficient. They get it done.
They do indeed. We'll see if they can keep that up, though. Going into game number 3, winner of this one will be on match point, and that is a huge piece of the puzzle to have. So we'll see if Purdue are able to get it right back and take the lead in the series, or if Arizona State are going to keep their momentum going from game 2.
4:45 to go. Crouton off target there. Rebound, also no good. Plane will cover the clear. First 20 seconds off the mark, and another one quickly broken up off the transition, Jonas. And in this series, I mean, Purdue again the favorite, but Arizona State playing neck and neck with Purdue.
Yeah, I mean, it is a really solid look for Arizona State, staying at a great pace with a good team in Purdue, and it's just showing why they are deserving of a top 25 spot. But unfortunately, Purdue, they're in the top 25 for a reason as well. Plane gets past 1, and then the 50 and threads the needle between the defense, and Duck is there to clean up shop.
That was a very risky pass, and then almost got broken up, but that was a beautiful pass. Beautiful shot. 4:15. The Boilermakers in front.
They are indeed. Now we'll see if they can keep it up. Already seen Crouton lurking offensively. Duck a miss, and F just takes full advantage of that absolute gift.
Both teams getting gifted goals in this series. 4:06 to go. The first minute down, 1-1. Yeah,
it's been a bit of an interesting back and forth between these two. We've seen some good plays from either side. We've also seen some misplays from either side. It's a good knockdown from Plain Ebb. Going back far side, Crouton doesn't want to dive in as Enchanted rips it across the field. Ebb finds a late 50. Plain might have a clean beat. Patrick snatches a piece of it into the corner. It goes. Ebb taps it away far side. It's evened out at the midfield line. Another 50 coming through. Plain, last one back. Crouton misses, and the clear will come through for the Boilermakers.
3:37 to play game number 3. We remain tied at 1-1. As Enchanted in the backfield, left alone. Back for Duck, redirect touch on target. Patrick there, cleared wide by Ebb in the first minute 30. Still neck and neck at 1, Jonas, and this series just continues to deliver a close game.
It does indeed. I think that's just going to continue for the rest of this series. Enchanted, nice late touch, got it past a shooter and a teammate as Plain 50 this one out. Crouton's there, tries for a shot. Duck will do well, evening it out. Ebb, a miss here. Duck misses as well. Both players low boost. Now Plain, big 50 back the other way for Purdue. Ebb is on it. Soft touch falls to Plain. Crouton should have a clear. That he does. And we're seeing both teams kind of struggling to create threatening looks on offense now.
2:40 to go here. Purdue and Arizona State still even at 1 apiece after the half. And Game 3 finally feels like we got another kind of continuation of Game 2. And Game 1 is a blowout, but Game 2 is very, very tight, and Game 3 seems to be the same way.
It does indeed. I mean, again, Purdue went from scoring 6 goals in game number 1 to scoring 0 in Game 2, and now over halfway through Game 3, they only have 1. So the Sun Devils have done well, really making their defense shine. But they got to keep doing so, and they need their offense to fill out well in tandem. Ebb, dangerous touch there. Plain was there, but he missed it. Ball from Enchanted to save Duck. Turns, goes to Plain, and he sends it through. Purdue, a great bit of passing again to take the lead.
156, Purdue back on top. Duck to Plain, 1-2-3. Finds a 2-1 lead.
I mean, we've just seen some great passing from Purdue so far, and if they're able to keep that up consistently, they really look to be an insane threat. And those kinds of passing plays are just so tough to read. They're so tough to beat. And if the Boilermakers are able to keep them up, they are going to be a force to be reckoned with. Plain, good 50 here. Patrick bumped into the clear by Crouton. Duck has an open double. Can he set it on target? He can, but Ebb was ready for it.
And at 30. To play in game number 3, Arizona State need to score. They're going to trail 2-1, needing 2 perfect games of 10 minutes of Rocket League tournaments. In this series, it's been hard for Arizona State to really create opportunities as Purdue. So the longer this series goes, but they're more and more favored.
It really does. And I mean, Arizona State, they really got to be able to take advantage of the chances while they've got them, and Purdue's not going to give them a lot of openings in this series as they haven't. I mean, we've seen it, but you got to be able to jump on them when they're there. Ebb, here's a good look, a little bit slow on the catch. 50 well by Plain. 50 going back towards Ebb's side. He leaves it, and it's just a free ball for Enchanted.
40 seconds to go here in game number 3. Is Crouton left alone. Plain fires back to Duck. Rebound denied by Ebb, and Arizona State still within 1. Now one more chance down the stretch here. Quickly broken up by Plain. 30 to play, and Purdue hold off again.
Plain will redirect it far side. Duck, sidewall. Crouton has it. Heavy first touch. Force both Enchanted and Plain up. Dunk into the corner. It'll fall to Ebb. Low boost. Enchanted being bumped. Will miss the first one, but it falls to Duck. Good dunk from Patrick, but it looks like ASU just can't hang on enough. The clear is made. Patrick needs to keep it alive and go the full field, but Enchanted is on him now. Duck just looking to drop it down. He'll do exactly that, and Purdue are on match point.
Game 4 coming up next. Arizona State now need to win to force a Game 5, or it could be our only Game 5 of the night if we can get to a Champions Field situation.
Yeah, it might just be. I would assume Arizona State they're not going to go down without a fight. We did see their offense again lack a little bit of initiative in that one. The only goal they got was off of a whiff from Duck off the backboard. So they're really going to need to take their offense into their own hands.
Game 4, do or die here for Arizona State. Purdue, they'll have still a game to give if things go south here, but again, you don't want to have to think about Game 5 if you're Purdue. But Patrick, another foot from the middle here, almost saw an opportunity over Duck, but Ebb left alone in midfield. The first 10 seconds, highly eventful early on.
Is indeed Patrick immediately turning it back the other way for the Sun Devils. Flip reset, sent straight up by Plane. It falls to Enchanted. Crouton was free jumping him. Enchanted gets into the back wall. Duck not quite in the right spot, but will still have a great look. Bar down from Duck, and Purdue have an early lead.
And Duck gonna find the first. Just 30 seconds into this one, and again a quick Purdue goal finds goal one.
We'll see if things keep turning around for Purdue, or if Arizona State are finally going to be able to find a little bit of something thus far. But Plane, high flick, Ebb found the block. Duck next in line, flip reset, trying to get back to it, gets a slight 50, falls to Patrick in the corner. Now Enchanted, one touch, late flip. Patrick still trying to find his way out. Going middle, Crouton gets 50. Patrick trying to escape Purdue. They're getting more and more aggressive, it seems, Nation.
Duck almost got left alone and isolated there in the backfield. 1 minute, though, off the clock. And Arizona State still nothing. Ebb fires to the corner. No good. Duck, a huge save. Back across the midfield. Arizona State now left alone as Patrick. He's isolated. Enchanted. No good. Patrick almost own goal. Rebound not there. And Crouton will hold the line.
Now Crouton, another good 50 out, low boost. Is he able to hold off Duck for a moment? Bit of an awkward touch towards the middle, and now an own goal! What an own goal it is!
That's a cooked Duck on a Crouton there. This is the 1.5 off the clock, and Duck just put off the sidewall right into his own net.
Yeah, I mean, you got to credit to Ebb, I suppose, for setting that perfectly onto Duck's hood, but Duck he's had some interesting plays so far in this matchup, but he's had some good plays alongside that, so you can't really fault him all too much, but that will tie it up here in Game 4.
Chat says Duck is an undercover agent for Arizona State. 3:15 to go, and now Enchanted maybe a break downfield, almost another opportunity where Arizona State nearly put that in their own net, but Purdue all equal back at 1 after the own goal.
Are indeed, and we'll see if they're going to again be able to take advantage of opportunities. I still want to see Arizona State create a goal themselves. We just have still seen them being capitalized on these major Purdue mistakes instead of really taking things into their own hands, creating an opportunity downfield, and now they're in trouble. Playing late flip, puts it wide. Enchanted's there, will tap it in for goal number 2, the lead back with the Boilermakers.
2:42 to go. Plane delivers the second, puts the Boilermakers back in front, just over the halfway mark.
Indeed it has, and I mean, 2:42 left to go. Arizona State, I mean, even though it's a 1-goal game, Nation, it's not looking as good. Does Enchanted just own goal? Almost. It was wide and plain. 50 the follow-up as well. Air dribble it out through the midfield line. Patrick, 50 by Enchanted. It's going to be Duck as last back. Good catch and flick to get back on the offensive side for Purdue. Now just looking for bumps. Ebb in a tough spot. Patrick, again, looking to break away, but Purdue, they still seem to be in the driver's seat.
2:14 to go. Back to Duck. Fires to the corner. No good. A little wide off the shot there, Patrick. 1-on-2. Playing back on target. Awfully wide as well. Also off the post and gone. Rebound for Enchanted. Goes through. 3-1.
Enchanted 2 for 3 so far this game as Crouton beat there, and Ebb, that is not the touch he wanted. Straight into the front bumper of Enchanted. And Arizona State, I mean, we talked about how good their defense was in Game 2. Unfortunately, it really hasn't looked the same.
1:55 to go. Ebb from midfield over the first. A high flick We'll find Enchanted over the top, down for Plain, and also back in front. Purdue almost sold another goal right back to ASU.
Yeah, they're just really looking to keep the Sun Devils at bay for this final, minute and a half. Duck reset, tried to get back to it. Crouton will make the save happen. A miss from Ebb. Now ground pitch down the other way. Enchanted cuts it off. Has Duck middle off ceiling. Slowly towards target. Crouton will pick it up. Gets it to Patrick. He's got no boost left. We'll just take that mid boost and a 50. Ebb ends up faking out. Crouton playing high up into the backboard. Not enough boost to readjust for the double. Doesn't matter. Enchanted there. Slots it top left far side. And he's got a hat trick in game 4.
Yeah, and Arizona State's defense just got completely cooked there. And Purdue just had so many great touches in the last possession and this possession that set up those back-to-back goals. 4-1 in minute 13 left. The lead out to 3 with 73 to play.
It's a really tough look now for Arizona State, as at this point it might just be over. Obviously, there's still a chance, but Purdue are just going to be looking to play a little bit of keep away for some awkward opportunities for the Sun Devils. As a big double commit there. Enchanted sidewall going for a double. Can he reach it? Yes, he can, but Crouton will steal it away. Patrick out through the midfield. You can see Plain just kind of doing 360s and still winning the challenge beautifully. This one looks to be over.
35 seconds to go. Enchanted back to Plain. Opportunity there goes completely south as that one couldn't quite find the midfield connection. 30 to go. A pinch on target. Enchanted back to M. Rebound to the corner. Doesn't sail. Plain will find the save. Patrick gives it back to Purdue. That should be another. No, it's completely wide. That was almost a surefire goal for Purdue, but the clock will tick once more.
Maybe just looking to seal the deal at this point, as it looks like that indeed will be it. Purdue, in their first played match of the season, will take themselves a victory over Arizona State. They're definitely going to move up in the rankings with that one, and it'll be tough to say what'll happen now to the Sun Devils.
That it will. Purdue ends tonight 3-1 on the series scoreboard. They advanced to 1-2 on the year so far. Arizona State fall back to 500 at 2-2 going into league play next week. In the Big 12, we know is no slouch. It's one of the most difficult conferences here in the Collegiate Conference Series. And Jonas, what a night. A couple of this exciting series, a couple 3-1s and a couple sweeps. And I think that out of these 4 series, we've seen some crazy moments, but I think the biggest shocker has to be Akron just scoring one single goal against Drexel. I think that's got to be the biggest shock of the entire night.
I would have to agree with you there. That was a series that we were hyping up. It was the national championship rematch. We thought, this is one you look at Akron as the favorites. You think that it might go all the way to 5, go the distance, but no, Drexel made quick work of Akron in that matchup. The Dragons now definitely got to be sitting on top, got to be that number 1 spot. They're going to take on Arizona later this week. I think they should be able to deal with that just fine, but what a win for Drexel. As you mentioned, that's definitely going to be the standout performance of the night.
Yeah, it looks like Clemson is playing somebody right now. It says they're playing New Mexico, but they don't have each other on the schedule, so I think that title's wrong. But we're going to go check that out. I'm going to get you guys there for another CCS game. It's from Nation Jonas. We'll see you guys tomorrow for more CCS Season 5 action.